What's going on, Lotus Tribe? I hope all is well and everyone is thriving. Yes, I am literally in the aspects of driving, so I do have to be mindful. I have my phone hung up, but Spirit told me to turn on the camera, to which I don't know why. We're just gonna turn it on and we're gonna see where it goes. When I heard turning the camera, what I heard was to kind of express where I am in the journey. Like, right, you ask yourself, what happens when you have this spiritual awakening? Is there this trajectory of life that, you know, is just gonna be on an up and up from now on? I can assure you the answer is like, no. Like, and that's not to discourage anybody, right? Like, once you take the red pill, as I would call it, for those who, you know, been with me and we walk this side by side, like, once you take the red pill and you conscious, there really is no going back. And if you do choose to go back, I'm sure that aspect would look very different because of the awareness and the consciousness being raised, right? So I'm really at a place in my life where I am in the unknown. Like, controls that I thought I once had, or the controls that I worked so hard to, I feel like for me, like I worked so hard to build, it has been a illusion. Like, so much of us build a foundation, or we feel as though we build a foundation on control, only to be made aware at some point that all of it is an illusion, right? So, for example, I bring up Diddy in this instance, and healing to him, his family. I'm not here to say what happened, what didn't happen. I'm not sure. But I could only imagine, outside looking at it in perspective, right? Like, I'm someone who built this empire, a legacy, not only for myself, but for my children, to live my dream this lifetime, owing it to myself, and to be in a position or a place where all of those things have come tumbling down. So I know to him, it's like, wow, I can be stripped of those things. The money, the fame, the reputation. I was on top of the world for a while, and now I'm not. Now it looks different for me. And I'm not saying that it is not deserving, because I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the control was an illusion. And I'm in that learning lesson era of my life. Like, everything boils down to faith, is the best way to put it. Everything boils down to faith, because you are going to experience things in your life where it will really shake some things up. If you're in a castle, tower, what so have you, sometimes life's to the point to where things start crumbling down, the windows start breaking, the walls start breaking. So many different things that occur, and different experiences that you will have that you did not anticipate. And so I think what I'm hearing in this moment is that control is an illusion. There is no control. It really comes down to, I am experiencing these moments, or I'm experiencing this, and how strong is my faith? I don't necessarily think that that is tied to a particular deity or a particular entity or a particular religion. I think it's just really having faith first and foremost in yourself, and knowing that you have the ability to get through anything and everything, and really challenging yourself to show up for the occasion, right? Like, yeah, you can go through things, and if you allow it to break you, guess what? It's going to break you. But if you say in the same breath, like, I'm going through this in this moment, I don't know what the hell is going on, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna show up for myself, and I know somewhere down the line there will be a break. Somewhere there'll be a break for me. There will be a big break, and I'm just trying to keep going, and I'm just trying to keep pushing and propelling forward. You know, control has been an adversary for me for a long time. I was raised in a childhood in an environment full of control, and not saying that I was controlled in all ways, but just seeing people trying to control things and life constantly providing them with the lesson that they are not in control, and that looks different across the board. And then being able to grow up and become an adult and see myself taking on that same programming. You know, I've worked really hard to get here in this moment, and everything I would have preferred to have control over or about, I no longer have it. I no longer have it. It is really just me kind of going with the flow of what life has to give me. Like, going with the flow, whether that comes to my mothering, whether that comes to my intimate relationships, whether that comes to my relationships in general, whether that comes to money, like even the money, like just touching on the money. I worked really hard to get here in an aspect where, like, money, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it needs to look like this and it needs to be like this, and I'm gonna hold on to this, right? That mindset of lack, like, I'm gonna hold on to this money so much and so hard that if anything happens, I will be prepared for it. I'm so in control that if anything happens, I'm going to be prepared for anything and everything. And I wasn't. And no matter how many bricks I built on that idea, I wasn't. And I'm not. And it's scary. It's scary. Because it's like, what do I do now? What can you do now? Like, I literally have to have that conversation with myself. What can I do now outside of just showing up and giving the best I can give? There's nothing that I can do now. I have one lifetime to live that I can remember. Some people are graced with the ability to remember all their lifetimes. But I don't recall any of my lifetimes without having to have a past life regression. And so you want to live comfortably. You don't want to live in a space of lack. You want to provide your children with all of the things. You want to provide your family with all of the things. And in this lesson, I'm really, really learning how to live by faith. And what's so interesting is that I'm passing a sign that says justice. It is actively working on it. It is trying your best each and every single day, and not allowing control or the lack thereof, what you want to see, get in your way. And the best way I personally feel to do it is going through it with ease. Like, really, really going through it with ease as best as you can, and evolving and becoming this different person or different version of yourself. And sometimes you gotta leave people where they at. Sometimes you gotta leave old things where they at, addictions where they at. And those things are not meant to come with you in the next phase of your life. It is what it is. And we extend love and we extend grace. Like, I'm learning how to live in my truth without completely destroying other people in a way, as well as extending compassion and really understanding that every story is different. People make decisions based on the things they may have experienced or learned, and really all we can do for people who may not be making the best decisions is send them grace and healing and creating a line in the sand, a boundary, and say, hey, I'm extending you this love, I'm extending you this grace. And in the same breath, that doesn't mean that I have to take in this toxicity. That doesn't mean that I have to allow myself to be exposed to this in this way because that's what you would prefer. So, life be journeying. It's about the journey, not the destination. And I'm currently at my destination. But I hope this message serves and does what it needs to do. And sending you all my love and compassion and strength. The universe is always working for you, never against you. The universe is always working for you, never against you.